All right, I'm gonna do this. Yep. Get comfortable. Cause you interview me, you the doctor. I'm gonna sit here and my psychiatrist like bed sits. Like this is my position right here. So it all started with the bicycle.
Now, before we begin, this is the intro to beginning. We had a interesting week. You actually got to do a photo shoot with your family. Mm-hmm. Something that you never thought you would do.
Nah, I was dumb excited too, bro. Like I felt like you when you with the cover of your first book. I was like, this is dope. Do you see this? Like, yeah.
Like, what we have accumulated so far, we call it season 3, and it started in January. And the journey that we're on, y'all actually taking this journey with us. So this season, we're trying to introduce you to how it all started, where it began. I did an episode talking about me and how I came in, and now we're going to talk to the owner, and we're going to see how the logo right here that you see is now on your television screen, on a t-shirt, on sneakers. So that's what we're going to be doing with these next few episodes. And oh yeah, even though we're in Rhode Island, we're not just only talking about Rhode Island. We're universal, baby. Showtime! Rhode Island is famous. Rhode Island.
Welcome to TF3 Airport. Is what? 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 They say what we famous for. That's why I'm taking y'all on this verbal tour. First stop, Providence Place Mall, 3 floors of stores to shop for you and yours. Don't have a ride, you can take the Ripper. Anywhere you need to go, the bus will get you. Cranston, Warwick, even Newport, Kennedy Plaza, where you can find the ice court. Y'all know Brown University, famous. JWPC, URI, famous. Students from everywhere come here to go there. The capital's Providence, Dante is in your ear. Home of the Blue Bug, Iggy's and Thayer Street. Full of stores to shop on, places you can eat. Near there is downtown P-Pack, enjoy a show. The Dunk Water Fires, other things you need to know. Can't forget Fat Hill for real.
Alright. Welcome to the other side of things. I'm your host, Dante Martin. We have a real special episode because honestly, without a beginning, there's no ending. So we're going actually to the beginning of Beyond Eons Productions. And that's when the person that's the reason this all exists comes to play. So again, you just see my episode. You see the photo shoot that was spontaneous. He just called me up. I was knocked out. I said I'd be there in an hour. We did all that, and we just giving you behind the scenes and giving you the process, the journey of what it is that we're going through as we do what we do. So maybe if you want to start your own business or your own journey, you can be like, you know what, they did it, why can't I? So without further ado, introduce yourself.
Well, if you don't know, I'm Jakeem Parker, owner and creator of Beyond Eons Productions, and this is my episode.
This is my episode. Well, Key, right?
Mm-hmm.
People see what it is that we have done so far. but they don't know how did it start. Like, what was you doing? What was you thinking? What mindset was you in when you thought of the vision that became Beyond Eon Productions?
Well, to answer that, we have to go all the way back to early 2000s. So early 2000s, I'm living in Onlyville, and I'm job hunting with one of my boys. We are like hitting up temp agencies. We're all over the place, man. We done worked in some crazy situations. Like every day, we up before the sun at the agencies, going for work, looking for work. And then I guess one day after, I think it was after we had worked at this like shady bleach factory out in Mass, which I think it was run by the Russian mafia, because it was a dude. They were talking Russian. There was one dude in a tracksuit. There was only two of them. And we were scared to even take a break. But we was just hanging out afterwards at his place, and we was just talking about life as we do, and and spirituality, and just like trying to be positive in a negative situation of constant job hunting and nothing stable. And we were talking about the future and how far we're gonna push something and how positive, like it was gonna go beyond, and then it just kept going.
What year was this in? Like what?
Around 2004 I want to say 2008, 2009.
Okay. See, people gotta know these.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said early 2000, but like to be specific, it was around 2008, 2009, and Beyond Eons became something like, we was like, it's gonna go beyond this, and then he's like, and then my boy was like, Beyond Eons, and then we said it so fast, it was like Beyond Eons, and it became a slur, like it became like almost like a tag phrase, like we were joking around, like almost like to say that's fat, that's fire, that's Beyond Eons, like we were hyping it up as a means of encouragement to each other. We're gonna be going Beyond Eons,
Right.
and that was just our thing between the two of us. I didn't think much of it then. And fast forward to me going to school, I get hit with a project from the professors, like, you're gonna create a company. Whatever the company does, you gotta draw up the idea of the company. You gotta come up with a brand, a plan for this company, what it provides, how you're gonna present. I had to put the package together as if I was building a company, and then it struck that I was like, I might do this for real. And then like you have to come up with a name, and I was trying to come up with names. I was thinking of cognitive this. I was trying to think of something creative but expansive, something that couldn't be measured. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that slang, that slur, that term came back to me. Beyond Eons. I was like, that's it. That's the name of my company. And that's where the process began of making this company. Like, it was a school project, but before that, it was a term of endearment shared between two friends who were constantly trying to encourage to keep moving forward, though everything around us was not.
And that came off of a job that y'all didn't agree with, right?
Yeah.
You know what's so funny about that story? It sounds familiar with a story we interviewed somebody with. Sneaker Junkie.
Oh yeah.
Remember he said
he was basically hiring people, but barely was making any money, trying to get other people jobs.
So that lets you know that sometimes when you're in a situation where you don't see no progression or no forwarding of that situation, you're just like, you know what? What could I do? How could I pivot out of this situation? Mm-hmm. So you go to school, professors tell you you're gonna do this project. So lay it out. What happened?
So I had to create a marketing plan. I had to first figure out what was the drive and goal of the company. And since my goal at school was to be a sound engineer, I was like, it's a production company. Well, what do you provide? I couldn't pinpoint one thing, so I was like, we do pretty much everything that I was learning. We do editing, we do audio editing, we do visual editing, we do audio and visual recording, we do album covers, we do media logos, and we do original logos. Like, I just covered everything that I knew how to do, that I was shown how to do in this mock-up business plan. And then he was like, well, how are you going to market yourself? So we had to create a fake website. We had to create a commercial or a reel that, you know, kind of highlighted some of the things that this company provides. So like all my previous projects that I was doing for other classes, like Sound 101 or sound effects or radio, I had to make a clip with all these things in it as a means of promoting what this company provides. So I was going through the practical steps of everything that we're kind of doing right now in class. Like, I took it more so as a practical, a realistic thing than a practical thing just for class. I was like, I'm really going to do this. Like, I had to research how to get an LLC. If I wanted to go LLC, or if I wanted to go corporate, or if I wanted to go nonprofit, I had to do the research on all these different organizations or type of organization I wanted to be. And the most reasonable one at the time, because of expenses, was an LLC. And it worked perfectly because it fell into a certain tax bracket, or like you can get a certain write-off for your equipment, for things that you buy. Like at the end of the year, those purchases can be written off and I can recoup some of that money. So that's why I went with an LLC.
Right.
And then, man, it seems unreal thinking about it now. Like, I was saying I'm gonna do this, but I didn't really believe I was gonna do this. I was doing it like it was almost like automatic. I got it in my mind and I just kept running with it until the next thing I know, I'm signing the paper and I'm at the office and making this thing real. March 21st, 2018. Beyond Eons became an actual LLC. I went through several different logos before I got to this one.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind the logo?
So, trying to depict a phrase like Beyond Eons, it's not as easy as it sounds. Like, when I hear Beyond Eons, I automatically think galaxy, space. I see, you know, the infinite stretches of out there. I was like, how do you make that into a picture? Something that's simple, something that can be, you know, recognized and remembered. So the first idea actually, at first it was just the term Beyond Eons. It wasn't separated. And it was Beyond Eons Productions. It was, and Brother Rage created the first one, which was like a pentagon. And he designed the pentagon, and I liked it because I couldn't come up with anything at the time. But then I started messing around with like After Effects and like Adobe, and like learning how to manipulate shapes and whatnot, and I came up with some very abstract stuff. It was like super abstract. Like this almost looks like foreboding. It didn't look good. So I was like, no. Then I started going into different fonts because I was doing album covers for a lot of people. I was doing album covers for Grim, aka Dirty. I was doing it for with Grimothy.
Lord
Grimothy. I was doing covers for Lord Grimothy. I was doing covers for Dirty. I did a couple covers for myself, and in the process of doing all these different covers and whatnot, and coming up with ideas, I started like collecting a lot of fonts, different letterings, and I came across this one, and I was like, I started playing with the shapes and manipulating them because I was like, all right, Beyond Eons Production is a lot to say. So let's make it an acronym because I love acronyms. I love breaking stuff down and simplifying it. So, and the BEP and the way that I manipulated this, I was like, that's it. But then I layered it because I remember my professor saying, like, if you can manipulate a shape into a letter, like if you look at like San Diego Zoo or Franklin Park Zoo, you'll see that it says zoo, but it has the imprint of an animal in the letter.
Right.
So that's the kind of the idea I was going for when I was putting this together. It was like the BEP layered on top of each other, but it also reminded me of the color scheme. Like the color scheme and everything, it all reminded me of back when I was back in Brooklyn. So I'm side questing here for a second. I'm going back to go forward. Back in Brownsville on Pickens Avenue, you know, which was the spot, I got my first leather medallion back in the day. Remember the leather
Pickens Avenue. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So I got my first like little leather medallion.
That was the first street where everybody went to go shopping. Like most of the Christmas gifts came from that street.
Exactly. That was the spot. Before like Far Rockaway and Rockaway Parkway started jumping off. Yes. It was Pickens Avenue.
Wow.
So I got this leather pendant, little $5 thing. It was Africa, and it was red, black, and green. And a Rastafarian brother came up to me. He was like, "You know what that mean?"
They always are.
Yeah, you know what that mean? I was like, "No." And then he broke it down. He said, "Black is for the people, red is for the blood we share in war, and green is for the land we live in." And I never forgot that. That became, I felt instant empowerment and like pride. And that has been with me ever since. That's why I chose the colors that I chose for the emblem. That's why I laid out the way that I did, because it reminds me of that pendant.
Too bad you ain't got it.
I wish I still had it, man.
Find one online.
Man, to find one of those online, you crazy. You ain't gonna find one of those online.
You never know. Chill.
You know how much they gonna ask for that?
No, I ain't talking about find a picture so you can put it.
Oh yeah, if I can find that, yeah. Yeah. So that is that's the story behind that logo and how it evolved into what it is now. And that's the symbolism and the representation behind BEP's color scheme and its layout. Like it represents that childhood moment on Pickens Avenue where I found or was given, I would say, not encouragement, but you know, my pride was reinforced and uplifted. Like I don't even really know how to phrase it the right way, but it's like that was a pivotal moment in my life that I will never forget, and I cherish to this day. And I just want to represent how that moment made me feel continuously. I want to share that moment. And I think that became like the essence of why I'm doing it as it evolves.
So, what was your inspiration like to believe that you could do this? Like, what inspires you? Like, what was around? See, when you play Revisionist History and you're looking back, you're looking at what was around, like a movie like Crush Groove. Mm-hmm. What else? Somebody that you seen in your neighborhood do something that you was like, wow, I didn't know, like an athlete becoming a professional player or something, or doing something to that nature. What was your inspiration?
Music was my inspiration. During COVID, just before COVID and whatnot, I was back and forth between work. I got injured on my last job, and I hit a low. I hit a wall of depression that had me second guessing, doubting, unaware of what I was doing or where I was going, and I had a moment where I just broke down and cried. I was in the dark in my old kitchen, leaning up against the fridge, just unconsolable. I didn't know what to do with myself. I felt like a failure as a husband, as a father, as a provider. I felt like I've gotten this far and have done absolutely nothing. I felt hopeless. And then music started playing in my head. I don't remember the song, but music. And I started feeling better, but then it dawned on me. I was like, music has always been there. I started recapping my life and thinking of moments where it's like it was the absolute worst, or I was going through another trial in life, but I always had music. Music is what kept me going. And that's when I got up and decided, like, I'm going to be an engineer. I'm going to take something that has always given to me, and I'm going to give back. I was already creating music at the time, but it was like I had no real goals or ambition. I was putting out albums through another label, but that wasn't, a big drive for me, because I had library of music and whatnot, but I didn't really have any other thing than just putting it out there so people could hear. But that moment triggered an event in me to do more with it.
Right.
So that moment inspired me to do better for myself, for my wife, for my kids, for my family. And as it evolved, it became not just for them, but for my community. Like, I've been in the community as a performer, as, an actor, an MC, like stagehand, builder, construction. I've been with these different organizations throughout my time here, and I felt like I can do something like that. That's part of that inspiration too. Like, one, I want to do this, and two is like, I know I can do this because I've already done it. But there's still no clear plan. I'm just like moving off an idea.
Right.
Yeah. And I sometimes trail off, so you gotta.
Listen, see, this is what I'm loving, because I'm hearing this story for the first time, and we seeing and hearing your passion. So that's why I'm not interrupting and I'm letting it go, because I could see it, and people really paying attention. They can see the passion. They can see. I'm looking in your eyes and see, like, he's really in deep thought. This is real. This is what I'm saying. When none of this is scripted. We don't sit up there and say, this is what we're gonna talk about. None of it. We just come in here, turn on the cameras. He let me do my job. That's why I'm the host, people. The host with the most.
Yeah. I can talk about so many things in life. Even my therapist says when I start talking about this, there's a glow that happens in me. Like, this is close to my heart. I love doing this. Yeah, it could be a little stressful at times because there's so many things that happens behind the cameras. Like, so many people I have to stay in contact with, so many things that I have to remember and stay on top of. But it's like, I wouldn't change it. I would not change it. like you say all the time, I have no idea what this is going to do or where it's going or who it's going to reach or who it's going to touch. But it's like the ability to do rather than wish you could do is unmeasurable. To be able to wake up and know, like, hey, if I just have a thought on my mind or I have an idea or a concept, I know how to make that concept or an idea a reality. When we go to shoot projects on purpose and whatnot, like I tell you all the time, it's like I'm thinking about it so many times and looking at the angles and looking at the ways I can do it. So by the time we sit down to do it, you're looking at me set up and you're like, what is... I'm moving stuff over here, you sit there, and like, cause I've already seen it. Like I kind of already, I've going to the school, New England Tech, shout out to New England Tech. It was the best key that I ever gained because it was allowing me to take everything that I had in my head and always wanted to do. It gave me the tools to actually do it now. I can now take those visuals that's been in my head and make it a reality. And that's one of the coolest things. To be able to get, because I know creators who have great thoughts and whatnot, but that's in their mind, but they don't have the tools. They don't know how to use the programs. They have to go to somebody else. And then that turns into like, oh, I can't financially, support this idea I have. I can't get I can't afford you. I can't afford this guy to edit and shoot the videos the way I want. The time and money that goes into shooting, editing, releasing, like, people don't understand how much time it actually takes to do this stuff. Like, granted, nowadays they got a program that'll do it in seconds. I just saw a video. Yeah, I sent it to you, but I'm like, at first I got offended. I was like, I get out of school, I did all this hard work, and now they got a program to do everything I do in 10 seconds. I'm like, really? But then I also saw another video. It was like, a woman was at a conference. She was like, AI is not going to take your job away from you. Not in the beginning. It won't be AI that takes you out of what you do, like editing this, that, it's going to be the people who learn how to use the technology that's going to take your job away from you. And I stopped for a minute and I thought about that. I was like, I never thought about it that way, but it makes sense. Instead of griping and getting mad because they're coming out with this technology that does what I do by hand quicker, that's like getting mad for being the person who invented stairs, but then getting mad at the person that invented the escalator.
You needed one idea to create
the other one. Exactly. So instead of me getting mad that they created a program that can do my job or do what I do quicker, I need to get on my job and learn how to use this program. Makes my job easier, but at the same time, there's a nuance and an essence in doing it by hand, because not every AI or program is going to see a scene a certain way or cut to the next scene a certain way, because they have templates based on an algorithm, but it doesn't have a human touch. So even in the essence of knowing how to use the AI generated programming for editing and whatnot, there will still be a call for a human touch to film, documentary, shows. Like, there is a certain essence that comes with knowing that it's just the way you see it, just the way you want it.
Soul Snatcher. Hey, Merc, they said music have been dying. Know my response to that? Back to life, soul to soul. Have a handle on this, y'all can lose control. Like 50, we mob deep, team with me. All sipping on something, yes, with Zipsy. Gonna feel what I got coming at ya. I'm the Grim Reaper, the Soul Snatcher. Gonna feel what I got coming at ya. I'm the Grim Reaper, the Soul Snatcher. Body count goes up, more you bump. Play this in the club when you want. Look at me, show y'all how to stunt. Looking for a Bambi out on the hunt. Dante. soul snatcher, back at ya, fall back, recline, relax ya. Dance music, step to it, be fluent. Don't have Nikes on, just do it. I'm fly, no lie, he's the truth. Peanut butter whiskey, 80-something proof. Raise the roof, they bring the house down. Looking for a queen who like to wear the brown. Cinderella, this for the ladies and the fellas. Suburbians, also city dwellers. Money makers, fast breakers, call us takers. Anything other than broke, don't mistake us. Place us in places where haters not. Need to cool off, yeah, the spot is hot. Wesley Beats gave me the chance to get y'all up out your seats and just dance. Gonna feel what I got coming at ya. I'm the Grim Reaper, the Soul Snatcher.